Welcome back to the Naughty Corner, everyone. We are on the unceded lands of the Wanneroo people. This is Quarters in Session. We are a Reddit Reads podcast where game recognises game. We judge assholes because we know we've been one. We offer advice on shitty situations because we've been there. And we're giving you Aussie takes because you wouldn't know what the fuck we were talking about if we didn't. I am Courtney Watts, your host, and I am joined by Kia. Welcome, Kia.
Hello. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Being here.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yes. So Kia worked with me on To the Tooth, a feature film that will be out eventually. Editing takes a super long time as someone who edits this podcast every week. I spent 2 hours working on Hugh's episode today and I'm 15 minutes in. How far are you through the To the Tooth editing?
So the To the Tooth, we've probably hit a little bit past halfway, veering on to probably about 3/4 through. But once that's all done, we've still got to do all of our coloring and our sound mixes and that sort of thing.
No, it's not just going to be Sam recording his scatting and his vamping. Like,
You know what? I think we should bring back DVDs just for that. So we can have like a special DVD section. That was really good. I fear he would have a heart attack though. I feel awful, but I'm like, if anybody I know is going to go of a heart attack, it's going to be Sam. He's so high energy all the time.
I don't know. I feel like he is, but it's one of those, I'm going to be this high energy for this 8 hours of the day, and then I'm going to see you in 3 days from now when I recover.
Yes. I'm like that. So, because I work retail as well, that's the other thing. Like I manage a retail thing, so I'm trying to edit with that.
So you're a masochist.
That's the only way to work in film. I'm like, you're all emotional masochists.
Film and retail.
I used to get teased because if anyone was like angry customer-wise, they just send them to me. They're like, oh, we know you can take shit. So, and I was like, yeah, that's right, because I have no self-esteem at the moment, so that's fine. Yeah, no, oh my God, yeah. Retail is so bad. I was just thinking we were talking about Sam and I've lost my train of thought.
Him needing the 3 days to recover.
Oh yeah, people are like, you're so energized. I'm like, yeah, thanks, I'm a husk of a human being when I go home. So, but that's all right. I'll come in peppy at 9:30, so.
See, I'd rather be a cunt at work, honestly.
I can't. I work with someone who's a cunt at work and I'm in awe of them. I wish I could say no to a customer. You could come in here and like chop up a sheet in front of me and say, this is broken. I'll be like, of course, we'll get you a better one right away. I'm like a professional pushover. It's great.
See, this is why every business, especially retail business, needs a cunt for hire.
Yeah, you need one per store. Yeah.
Yeah. And, make them a freelancer. You don't actually have to have them on the book so that way you have to be legally responsible for them or anything, but just someone who can fight the customers for your staff so it's not your business or your staff on the hook for it. But cunty customers are getting what they deserve.
They're also funny though, and then they provide you with good stories afterwards. Like I hate being in the situation in the moment, but I love telling the story afterwards. And I'm okay to like handle this if it means I've got a good story afterwards. The juice is worth the squeeze.
But unless they actually get what's coming to them, I'm not going to get any satisfaction out of that story.
See, I'm always like karma will get them.
If after the end of that, when they think they've gotten what they wanted, they trip on the way out of the store.
Yes, I feel so bad, but nothing gets me quite the same way as when like there's a little kid being told to stop running. Can you slow down? And they don't, and then they instantly stack it. I feel really bad, but it brings me a little bit of schadenfreude. I'm like, oh,
I do that to Viridian all the time. Like I'm forever warning him not to walk around the house playing the Switch, to walk to where he's going first and then sit down and then start playing. Aren't you going to tell him not to do it when he's still doing it? I'm like, nah, he knows what the consequence is.
Yes.
I've given him a good and proper warning of what the likely outcome's going to be, and when he inevitably stacks it down the stairs, I will be there to laugh at him.
Yeah. With the customers as well, I love being so passive aggressive as well. For some funny reason, we don't take a mobile number for like joining up to become a member. We have to take email address.
I just don't like the whole membership thing, or like I'm not saying any of my private details out loud.
Yeah.
Like I'm not.
Oh no, you're one of those, are you?
That's been stalked before? Yeah.
Oh my God, you got stalked?
I don't want people around me being able to hear my phone number and email address and shit out loud.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Though,
That's
to be
true.
fair, I rarely leave the house now. So if anything's being picked up from stores, it's Ben that's getting
Oh my God. See, I'm so desperate for attention that if I got stalked, I'd be like, oh, really? Me? Thank you. I'm like going around screaming my phone number, just begging. That's so crazy.
See, my version of that is walking around the woods during a full moon, banging pots and pans together, like, oh, if only the Fae was looking for somebody to kidnap.
True, that's true. Are you a Dungeons and Dragons girly?
Oh, the whole family is Ben's a DM.
Oh, lovely. Are you playing a campaign now?
He plays every other Friday night with his friends.
Yeah.
I build worlds. I can't play in them.
I mean, that's a talent in itself, though.
Yeah, I've written a couple of books. My Ventura series, which is like a middle grade fantasy series. And that's part of the reason why I really love the development producing side of TV and film. Like,
Yeah.
literally starting from the universe in which the world is, going all the way down to like climate and culture and government structure.
You can tell when you play in a world like that, though. You can tell when the DM's done the work. Yeah. Oh, no, that's cool. I'm not focused enough for that.
That's the peak creativity for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best part. Shall we get started with our first story?
Let's do it.
We are starting off with our segment Q&A got cancelled. Now, once upon a time, Australia had an ABC TV show called Q&A, where we would have a panel of experts, politicians, thought leaders within a specific field, and they would be answering Australian public's questions from the audience. Now, that got cancelled, which leaves us. So,
just as good.
Am I supposed to keep being the bigger person for the rest of my life, or is it finally time to cut off the mother-in-law?
I was really worried that you were gonna like secretly speak to my therapist and like get all the points that I'm like really sensitive about, and I think you might be. No, what? So do we get to hear more information on this, or
That's
is that
just the title?
The title? Okay. Well, the answer is no. You don't have to. But continue.
The tagline on this is "Give it to me straight," and unfortunately, neither of us are equipped to do that. But we can give it to you a little gay. Let's
just
say.
just a little.
Last night, I lost it. My poor husband had to hear me vent my feelings about his mother and just cry about how she makes me feel. I don't know whether I should wind it back for the sake of our family and my daughter, or if it was just a woman at the end of her rope having a deserved meltdown. Help. For context, mother-in-law, 55 female, and I, 30 female, have things we can't forgive each other for. Me, for her ambushing and pressuring me into an abortion when I got pregnant with my daughter, now 14 months. Coming to the hospital when she was born after I said, no visitors. It was a tough birth and my mother came to see me, so she assumed she was now invited too. And coming to my home and obsessing over my new baby as if she were hers. Then taking my brand new baby from my home while I slept because she needed to visit her grandma's house. And my house is too depressing for her to sit in all day. The time she ripped my almost asleep newborn off my chest because she wanted to hold her, my baby has allergies and we didn't know at the time she was constantly crying in pain and difficult to settle, blaming me for her lack of visits, about 1 to 2 per month, mostly initiated by me for the sake of my baby, and just constantly talking trash about me behind my back and via baby talk to my daughter. Mother-in-law can't forgive me for getting pregnant to her son and baby trapping him. We were in a relationship and both decided to keep and love our unplanned baby. For having anxiety and potentially making her grandchild like me, and for her lack of relationship with a 14-month-old. I'm still breastfeeding her morning and evening, so she doesn't do sleepovers, but she still visits, usually with my husband or I there. At this point, I don't trust her with my child. She doesn't respect my parenting, values, and boundaries. She uses my daughter as both a way of communicating her ugly feelings and as a game of pretend to finally have her own daughter. She has 3 sons. I don't appreciate her continuing to tear me down and talk badly when all I have done is try to put my feelings aside and respect her position in my life as the mother of my husband and grandmother to my baby girl. I trade off holidays between my family and hers and give preference to which holidays are bigger celebrations in each family. I still did it with Easter coming up and gave her preference because she loves Easter. Gave plenty of notice and told her to let me know her plans. I'll work around with my family. Everyone was happy. Now, after only wanting one day, Sunday, of a 4-day holiday, we have recently planned to visit my father who lives out of town and come back early Sunday morning to attend her lunch and spend time with her and the family until evening as requested. But weather forecast now says rain, and she wanted to take my baby swimming in her pool. She's cancelled the whole lunch and moved her big family lunch to my house because I'm too difficult to take out to a restaurant. I'm on a modified diet while breastfeeding baby with allergies. And she doesn't want me coming to her house anymore because her dogs will now also be there. That's right, her dogs. When informing my husband that her lunch is now at our place, she told him that I give her dogs bad vibes. And that
Sorry.
I've also met these dogs maybe 3 times, and they're huge. Each time they were there, I was either pregnant or holding the baby, and they were both notorious jumpers, so I was a little nervous. Spoiler alert, they did jump on me, both pregnant and holding the baby, and they constantly bark at me and my daughter too. So mother-in-law now takes them over to her neighbour's yard while we visit for safety reasons. At least that's why I thought she did. Apparently, it's just because of my bad vibes. On top of this, she's comparing me to her other son's wife who loves the dogs. She's a vet. And also not pregnant. When my husband told me about the changed plans and the reasons why, and ended with, but I said I'd have to talk to you before agreeing to the new plans of them coming here, which I know he did out of respect and I appreciate, I just lost it. I felt like everything I've been putting aside is for nothing because this woman is still a monster. And now I have to change my plans, organise my house, buy food, and host them all in our small space with just days of notice, all because of her bad attitude and temper tantrum about the weather and her dogs. On top of now knowing, if we say no to them coming, it'll all be on me, because my husband made it sound like it was going to be my call. Again, I don't think he meant to. So it's all just fuel on her raging fire. Am I just being a petty monster? Am I a horrible person, so surely I must deserve this? I rack my brain all the time about every interaction I have with her and try to always consider her feelings, but I'm just done. Even in the last 15 years of therapy and subsequent emotional maturity can't hold this back. I don't want to go to her house. I don't want her at our house. I don't want to see her at all. I don't want her around my daughter anymore. My baby deserves a loving family, but she also deserves to be with people who respect her mother and don't use her as a pawn when it suits them. After I yelled and cried that Easter was cancelled and I didn't want them here, is it still my responsibility to apologise and tell my husband that it's all good, they can come over for a holiday? He is waiting for my final thoughts after I slept on it because even last night I said I didn't want to act on emotion because cutting off a grandparent is a serious thing. See? Emotionally mature. Always. He's very understanding and in agreement that she's always crossing lines and is overall not a nice lady. But is this the end of the line? Is the drama of this fallout going to be worth it in the end? Or is it another case of suck it up, buttercup?
First up, did she say that she had done 15 years of therapy and she's still dealing with this kind of stuff? Because that to me is like, I think you need a new therapist. This is absolutely crazy. I love when people ask, am I being too harsh or am I being crazy? And it's like,
Am I overreacting here?
am I overreacting?
And 9 times out of 10, it's no, you're severely underreacting.
Yeah. It's like, oh, he stabs me, but I'm sleeping while he does it, so it's okay. It's like, well, no, it's quite
He
terrible.
listens to me while I talk.
Also, I feel so bad for finding this so funny, but this is crazy. She's overreacting, right? Surely.
What, you think this lady is overreacting?
No, I'm being silly. No, she's definitely overreacting.
Autistic for that level of
sorry.
subtle sarcasm. You got to make it obvious.
Let me say what I mean. I'm also upset. For me, with the guy as well, like, that's great that he acknowledges that she can be difficult, but is he standing up for her during these, whenever things are happening between them? Is he actually standing up for his wife, or is he letting his mum walk all over them? Because it sounds like he's letting his mum walk all over them.
It just seems like he's the same kind of man that doesn't want to rock the boat, likes to keep everything chill, doesn't want to have a problem to deal with. So he tries to placate everyone, failing to acknowledge that it's ultimately going to end up landing on other people to work out.
Like me with customers. Yeah, like me with customers. Yes. The other thing was, did she talk them out of an abortion, or...
No, she was trying to get her to have one.
Because,
like, honestly, that'd be the last you'd hear of me.
Right?
I'd be like, I don't need to know you anymore. Like, you want to know your mum, go right ahead, but it's also going to make me change how I look at you too. And if you try to take my baby around your mother, we're going to have a problem.
Well, that's the whole point of the whole unit of the relationship, that as soon as she's doing that, if my partner Eric, say his mother did that and he kept in close relationship with his mother, I would be seriously wondering whether Eric and I would be able to work it out in the long run, because that's wild. And to have that much autonomy over somebody else's body is not so. That's a good
The
one.
entitlement of it.
I mean, like Easter, the Easter lunch. I love people who, when one wrong thing happens, they just throw the whole thing in the bucket. That's so dramatic. The Easter lunch is of no importance. It's a drop in the bucket of what this woman's going to do to you forever.
Moving forward, I would just say stop putting the energy into someone that's only giving you negativity back. You've tried, it's not working. I definitely wouldn't have them in your house, but I would also make it clear to your husband that this is his shit show to sort out. That is his circus. Those are his monkeys.
Yes.
At the end of the day, even if he is uncomfortable with this kind of conflict in his family, he chose to have that baby with you. That baby's well-being has to come first above all else, especially when you've got a breastfeeding mother. That means hers has to come first as well, because first and foremost, literally everything about her nervous system is going into feeding that baby, and heightened cortisol levels are going to impact her supply.
What if she makes, like, what if she's a really good baker though? And so there's all this stuff, but when she goes to lunch and when she comes to lunch, she brings really good treats.
Well, she can't have any of it right now because she's breastfeeding a baby with allergies.
Well, I know nothing about breastfeeding babies. Oh, I was too excited about that. I know nothing about breastfeeding
No,
babies.
that's why the mother-in-law said that they couldn't do it at a restaurant, that it had to be at this OP's house because she's too difficult to take to a restaurant because she's on a restricted diet. Because of her baby's allergies.
Yes. The whole shtick with the mother-in-law has had 3 boys and this is the first girl, and so she's kind of low-key treating it like her own child is insidious. I love it. I think it's wonderful. Like from a story point of view. No, not reality.
Yeah, okay, if we're making Carrie. The first time someone was holding my newborn daughter and was literally talking to her in a baby voice, talking shit about me.
What?
Yeah, she's saying that she will specifically talk shit about her in a baby voice to her daughter, like getting out all these catty comments about her.
Oh, like, your mummy doesn't let me, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Constantly talking trash about me behind my back and via baby talk to my daughter.
Yikes, Arilo. Oh my gosh,
I'd be like, you've got 3 seconds to get that child back into my arms and the fuck out of my house before I start chasing you.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, home has got to be a sanctuary. You don't invite the devil in. This is not a romantasy book. That's not going to be a good time.
Yes. And once again, the producer, the story writer in me is like, yes, you invite her in. And you bring her in.
But via summoning through a pentagram.
Yes. Through a series of 5, I can't count, 5 very special steps. No, you're not overreacting. But like you said, what's the step from now? Because I'm a snippy gal. I'm a no contact girly.
Long before now, I would have been like, I ain't fucking doing this.
Yeah, for me, it would have to be just minimal to no contact.
When my son was 5 weeks old, my father, who verbally abused my mother when he found out my oldest sister was a boy, only for her to come out a girl, then got no boys out of 5 kids, and then berated us for the next rest of our lives because he wanted a boy, for me to then have what we believe to be the first boy, then all of a sudden wanted to talk to me. I was straight up like, are you serious? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, no, I have no tolerance for it.
Yeah.
So like, even if I just stopped bothering to reach out to her, if she showed up on my door, I'd be like, go away. If she called me up on the phone and I accidentally answered it,
yes,
I'd be like, why are you calling me? Yeah. We don't like each other. We have no reason to be talking. Yeah. I don't want you. I can't, the whole facade of it, like maintaining family peace. Nah, cunt, I'm going to war. No.
I was going to say my family was very big on like, it's family.
Yeah, which means you have a greater responsibility to be making sure that we're taking care of each other. If you are not acting your part, I'm sure as fuck not doing mine.
Do you think that's got to do with levels of self-esteem as well, though? And the whole idea of people like this going, well, maybe I am the problem. Maybe I
will gladly admit I'm the problem, but that doesn't mean you're not.
That's true. That's true.
At my age, I'm disabled. I only have so much fucking energy to do the things I need to do.
Yeah.
So if you are not feeding into my life, I physically cannot give you my resources back and possibly risk not having enough to keep my own life functioning.
Yes.
Now, again, if it was just me, maybe that I probably would. But when I've got kids involved, the stakes are too fucking high.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No, totally understand.
It doesn't need to be anything massive, OP. It's just have your husband make his choice and tell him to leave you the fuck out of it. You don't want those kind of people in your house around your kid. That is your sanctuary. You are doing what you need to be doing to raise your child. And if she wants to be a decent mother and grandmother, then she can fucking go and do the work to do that. But you don't just get unencumbered access.
No, she had a hard life.
I'll
She
fucking
had a
make it harder.
Oh, but she did so much to raise you. Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree.
Cannot tolerate people trying to force relationships that just aren't there.
Do you mean in regards to the mother-in-law or regards to the child and the grandmother?
Well, currently, the child is not of any sort of age where they can be making that decision
Any sort of
themselves.
relationship. Yeah.
Yeah. So when the only relationship that you can have with a person is facilitated through someone else, then that relationship also has to be somewhat solid.
Yeah. I also feel like people are quite worried, oh, I don't want my child to grow up without a grandmother. It's like, well, if you're raising your kid right, I feel, as someone who has no children, I feel that your child is going to understand the decision that you've made and like to have no contact with the grandmother and that sort of thing. Like there might be a point of confusion when they're younger, but...
And from a found family perspective, I worked for 2 years at an aged care facility. I had 100 grandparents.
Exactly.
I didn't really have a relationship with my biological ones. They don't have to be related to you to be family from someone who has some shit family members. I'd prefer to not have a dad than to have the one I've got. You don't want to keep them from their grandmother. No grandmother is better than a shit grandmother.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. It's like divorce. You don't want to be raising your children around that hostility. Like,
yeah, just for the sake of saying they
for the
have
kids,
both
for the
parents.
kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you loved me, you would have divorced when I was 4. Like,
Yeah. We're all human.
Moving on to some sick cunts and shit cunts.
Yes. Okay.
So our sick cunts and shit cunts segment is essentially our Am I the Asshole stories. But there are times when you have stories where not only is the person not a shit cunt, they're a fucking legend that deserves acknowledgement.
Yes. Therefore, a
sick cunt.
Yes.
And so, yeah, just a standard you're the asshole or not the asshole judgment. Like a not the asshole is just too neutral.
Yeah.
So, first up, am I the asshole for not allowing my husband into the delivery room?
Sick cunt.
No, we'll see.
Yeah. Sick cunt.
What did he do?
Yeah.
What did he do? What did
Probably played Xbox in the fucking waiting room.
So this happened 2 years ago now, but a recent event has brought it to my mind. I'll have to start at the beginning. My 28 female husband, 28 male, and I welcomed our first child in May of 2018. I did not allow him to be present in the delivery room whilst I was giving birth. I just wanted my mother and the medical staff. I told him this when I was around 8 months pregnant and we were finalising plans. 8 months into a pregnancy, and that's when you decide to tell him?
No, I think like he knew, but it was more so like, just so you know, you will not be present.
But I told him this when I was around 8 months pregnant. I'm assuming up until then he assumed he would be there.
Oh yeah, I thought she meant that she didn't tell him that she was pregnant. I was like, I think he was well aware that she was pregnant.
He looked shocked and hurt and asked me why. I just didn't feel comfortable with anyone other than my mother with me. He just said whatever and didn't argue with me. I know he was hurt because he told me to go to my mother's house for the remainder of my pregnancy.
Oh, bugger off. Sorry.
FYI, it was planned for me to go there anyway on the due week so I could receive around-the-clock attention, but my husband told me to go 3 weeks early. I understood he was hurt, so I left to give him some space. I do get, when it comes to that kind of care that you're receiving and you're in such a vulnerable position, that no one should ever feel like they are automatically entitled to being there.
100%.
But if there isn't anything more to this relationship than what you've described so far, and basically you have what you perceive to be a happy, healthy marriage, then I'm wondering why you would have a child with someone you weren't comfortable being in the room with you for that, because that feels like inherent incompatibility.
I will say, I still think sick cunt for saying what she needed and sticking up for herself in that way.
Yeah.
But you're right. If I was having a child with somebody, they'd be my rock, right? They'd be the person that I would
You would hope so.
lead
Yeah.
to get through it. I don't know. Maybe she's shy about her vagina. Doesn't want to be seen shitting herself or something like that.
But again, like, why are you married to someone?
I'm not saying that that's the kind of relationship that I would like, but there are, like, I know relationships where they still won't, like, do wee-wees and stuff in front of each other. And they've been together for, like, 10 plus years. So while I don't think it's the same, like, a relationship I want to be in, I don't know. I still think sick cunt. You think shit cunt?
I'm side-eyeing at this point.
As in to the relationship itself?
Just both. Surely you've got a reason here.
Oh, so you're,
because like 8 months,
like
she didn't tell him until 8 months in, less than a month away from giving birth, and now you are telling the father of your child, your husband, that you allegedly love and want to spend the rest of your life with and have a child with, that he's not going to be there. And it's like, okay, is there something nefarious within this relationship?
Like what? So that was genuine response.
Like I don't know, but I feel like maybe it was a safety thing where maybe she only was kind of forced to tell him at the nth hour because she didn't feel safe to tell him before that. But then it's like, she is absolutely a shit cunt if that is not the case. Everything is apparently hunky-dory, and she's just dumped this on her husband out of nowhere less than a month away from giving birth to tell him that the woman he's chosen to spend his life with and have a child with is completely cutting him out of this for no understandable reason on his end, less than a month away from it happening.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you're like, when I get married and have a child, no one is going to be there but my mother, I just do not, I will never feel comfortable having anyone else in the room for that. If he went into this knowing that, fair cop. Right?
So you don't have the issue with the request. You have the issue with the time of the request.
It's the lack of transparency.
Yes.
If you know you're going to have a job that takes you away traveling for months out of the year, then being transparent in exactly how much you are going to actively be able to contribute to childcare and parenting in the grand scheme of things when you are starting a relationship with someone should be made clear, right?
Yes.
But I can't imagine anyone actively wanting to go into having a child expecting to not be involved in the birthing process.
Yeah.
And so if that's something that you know you're never going to be comfortable with, then when you are discussing having a baby, that should be one of the first things you fucking say.
Yes. Oh, see, I would have thought that you'd be so overwhelmed by so many other choices. You know, when you've got such an overarching journey that you're about to go on, that you think of absolutely everything except the actual fucking, like, big part of the journey. I thought it might have been something like, we've been buying the high chair, we've been doing this, we've been organizing, we've been doing the
maybe it is. Maybe it is just I thought we had the conversation and or maybe we did have the conversation and it was just he didn't take it seriously. Who knows?
Yeah.
I fucking hope it's something. I just hope it's not nothing.
Yeah. See, that's the thing as well. Like I said, I just get so surprised at what couples who've been together for a really long time will still not do in front of each other. So it could be something as simple as that, or it could be nefarious. She's like, I can't. What do they say when they need to get out of a domestic abuse situation? They go order a pizza. You've not heard that?
It's tickling a memory, but I can't.
So I think, well, obviously I don't remember it very well. It was something like, if you are in a domestic violence situation, you pick up the phone, you can call 911 and you order a pizza, and they know that you're in danger, but you can't talk about it. Well, I was going to make a joke about it, but now I realize it's probably not appropriate.
A few weeks later, I went into labor. My mother called the ambulance and went with me to the hospital. She also texted my husband telling him I was in labor, but he didn't reply. He didn't call or text either of us the whole time I was in labor. When I finally gave birth a few hours later, my mother let him know via text. He simply replied with, okay. He did not come to visit me or his child. I guess he was still upset and would come to visit us later. First time he did was when I was discharged from the hospital a few days later, and he came to pick us up. He didn't even acknowledge our baby. I was expecting some kind of emotional first meeting between them. When I asked why he didn't even hold our child, he said that I'd already robbed him of a first meeting and that I wouldn't get to watch one. We sat in silence the whole way home. Fast forward 2 years and we are very happy with a toddler. My husband was still cold for a few weeks, but he came around and has been an amazing father. I was only reminded of this because his childhood friend and wife recently had a child. My husband and I decided on various names for our child and decided to pick the one we felt was most suitable. After our child was born, I suggested we used one of the names he picked. He refused and said we should use one I picked since I had full rights over the baby. I did and forgot this ever happened by today. I was only reminded because my husband's friend asked him for a name suggestion and he suggested one of the names he chose for our child. I was confused as I always thought we would save the other names for a second child. When I told this to my husband, he scoffed and said something along the lines of, "Did you think I'd let you stop me from watching another child come into this world?" I didn't say anything back. I feel like I hurt him a lot more than I thought by not allowing him to see our child being born. Am I the asshole?
Are you fucking telling me that it really was a just cause situation? Oh, see, here's the thing. I feel like you think shit cunt, I think shit cunt. You've had a kid. I've not had a kid. So I feel like you might take precedence.
It's just in a world where we are demanding men pull their weight, then that weight comes with an emotional investment. So to cut off the development of that emotional investment by cutting them off from some of these core parts of what it is to raise a child, I can't imagine that's just completely counterintuitive to everything the world is currently demanding of men. Step up. And then we've got the ones that are, and they're like, nah. Why? Why?
I do get what you're saying. I just think she didn't want to be seen shitting herself.
Well, yeah, but like if that's the case, you don't get married or have a child with someone like that. Especially, like even just if only for the fact that you are putting yourself in an even more vulnerable situation. Because post-birth, not only do you have the core 6 weeks of recovery because you've literally got a dinner-sized plate wound, open wound in your uterus while it heals, but your entire system, nervous, hormonal, musculoskeletal, it can take up to 2 years to get back to what it was before. Ben would have to be helping me go to the bathroom after I gave birth.
Oh, yes.
Like, if you're not comfortable with that kind of stuff being even seen in the birth, then again, that just leaves you at even greater risk post-birth. Because there's so much support that you'd essentially be cutting yourself off from.
Yeah, and I feel like we're past the whole point of like men being disgusted by periods, and hopefully we're moving into the whole concept of when you grow old with someone, you know that you're going to be eventually wiping their ass or like checking their asshole for hemorrhoids or something like that. So
honestly, I don't think men think that far ahead.
Do you really?
There's a reason why so many 21-year-old Jadens are nothing but crosses on trees.
I don't know. What were you like? Were you always thinking ahead? Like of what it was going to be when you were older?
I remember thinking the very end, like what it would be like to die.
Yeah.
When you kind of live your life in survival mode, it's just how far can I physically make it?
Yeah.
So honestly, when it comes to Ben in particular, I don't like to think about it because more than likely with our family histories, neither of us will make it to an age to be worrying about it.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's really human to not be focused on what it's going to be like until you start feeling it a little bit more.
Yeah, you're faced with your own mortality.
Yeah, everyone thinks they're invincible.
Ew, there's an edit here. I've seen a lot of you mention how my husband kicked me out or ghosted me for a month. I just wanted to clarify, when he told me to go to my mother's, I didn't feel at all like he kicked me out. I just thought he needed some time for processing what I had told him. Well, that's healthy at least. I went willingly and didn't feel like I had to leave at all. Also, he didn't ghost me or go no contact in the weeks leading up to me giving birth. He didn't speak very much, but he came over a few times a week to bring food, clothes, etc. and check everything was okay. Edit 2. Just another edit after reading some more comments. A lot of you seem angry that my husband took his feelings out on our newborn child. This was not the case. After our car ride home, I remember hearing him cooing with our baby when I was not in the room. He never neglected our child and loved him from day one. One of the reasons I thought he was over my decision. Yeah, girl, he never had a problem with the kid. He specifically told you in the car that you were not going to get to witness their first bonding moments because you robbed him of them. And it was never about the baby, my good bitch.
There's the whole aspect of like the mother in the situation as well.
Yeah, I'm interested as to what his mother-in-law thought about all of that.
Oh, I meant her mother.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
would be OP's
Oh,
mother-in-law.
yes. Yeah. No, you are right. Sorry. That's a whole other aspect as well. That's interesting to think about. I will not elaborate. I'll just think about it.
As for why I didn't want my husband in the room, the comments have pretty much summed it up for me. I didn't want him to watch me in such a messy state when I could be throwing up or defecating. I didn't really voice this to him when he didn't challenge my decision. I thought he accepted it and it wasn't necessary. I also never meant to exclude him from holding his newborn child or anything like that. I just didn't want him in the room whilst I was in labour. I fully expected him to wait outside and come in once the baby was out. However, I never voiced this to him. This was poor communication on my part, and I understand he was very hurt by this. Reading the comments, I can see I'm the asshole. I never asked him about how he felt, and there was a lack of communication between us. I absolutely will talk to my husband about this and potentially show him this thread. Some serious apologies are in order. I will try to post an update once we have our talk for those of you who are interested. Thank you all again for your contributions. Honestly, if you lack the maturity to be able to have your husband cope with that, you should not be married or having a kid. I can't. And you never voiced it to him, just never fucking crossed your mind that maybe you should clarify exactly what your justification was to ensure this man you've just pulled the rug out from under knew where he stood at all. Fucking hell.
That was nice of him to immediately accept. I hear what you're saying. I don't know. Humans are messy. And then it did turn out as something as simple as I just didn't want him to see me.
Honestly, and if there had been that clarification, maybe they could have gotten some sort of counselling pre-birth where they could have worked through that shit.
Yeah, or
and this may not have happened.
Just like a 10-minute conversation between the two of them where it's like, that doesn't matter. Yes, it does to me.
It could have been something as simple as, can you tell me what you're thinking about, what you want for the birth, and why I can't be a part of, why I would get in the way of that. And then if that had then come up, if they've been together long enough, especially like throughout their 20s, how old are they? 28 and 28. Okay, so 26 at this time. So you've been dating through your early 20s. Girl, if he's had to pick you up messy drunk, he's probably seen you shit yourself anyway. I don't
know. At 20, they're still kiddies. And if they've dated since they're 20, they may still be kiddies. You know, when you have that one relationship and you never learn how to communicate, you never learn how. But despite this altercation, it seems like they're actually normally pretty good at talking things through and expressing.
Honestly, based on how the description of this story, it seems to me like husband is well and truly checked out of his relationship with her emotionally.
You reckon?
And he's there for that
for the kid. Yeah.
It's like
I will agree with that.
Like
one. Yeah.
I will actively sustain this relationship for the purpose of making sure that the child we have gets everything he deserves.
But then it
from
goes
his
back
childhood,
to that thing of like, well, then do they divorce? Do they?
Well,
do you know what I mean?
Again, like if everything is at a stable, happy standard,
yeah,
like it's not really a healthy dynamic, but at the same time, there's no real toxicity there because, well, she was ignorant up until now, and from his mind, it's I'm content and happy with this dynamic for what it needs to be because it gets me what I want for my child.
But while there may not be like actual toxicity there, like you've heard people who've grown up with parents who just didn't love each other and how much that can affect your ability to connect and have romantic relationships as an adult.
Yeah.
So,
but how fucking dense is this woman if she hasn't felt that?
Oh, yes.
So
that's
without
like, question.
If the mother was not feeling anything off, then is it safe to assume the child isn't either? this guy may have been going to therapy this whole time and she doesn't fucking know because clearly they don't fucking talk about anything. It's possible that he's worked through it and he's like, I very much love my wife for the person she is and the life that we have and the fact that she's an excellent mother, but this is not a romantic love I have for her.
Yes, yeah. So you think that was enough to sever?
Oh, it fucking severed something.
Yeah.
Like very clearly, the fact that he was that quick on it when she asked, what about the name? And he's like, oh, I'm never fucking having a kid with you again. Like, that's never happening.
Yeah, and he was happy to give that name away to somebody else as well.
Just the fact that was immediately there in the mind. It is never something he's forgetting. That is something that has fundamentally changed a core part of his being.
I don't know if you can get over that. Like, yeah. So I don't know whether you can sustain a relationship with that kind of resentment.
I would thoroughly expect that the day that kid turns 18, he files for divorce.
Oh.
There have been a couple of Reddit stories that are just that, where it's like, oh, I cheated on her, but she forgave me. But then the second our youngest turned 18, I was served divorce papers. And she's like, I did my duty. My life's mine now.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not fair. She strung me along this whole time. She said she forgave me. And it's like, yeah, maybe she did because she had her out plan.
And also, like, forgiveness is more for yourself than for the other person. Let's be honest. It's probably easier for her to live, being like, I've forgiven you, than be festering in that hate for the entire time. So,
see, I feel like I don't do either. I don't think I've ever forgiven anyone. It's just I don't care anymore.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say,
I haven't really actively forgiven you for what you've done to me.
Yes.
But I don't expect me to care if you live or die anymore because I don't.
Yeah.
Like,
see, I've got this weird thing where if someone's done me dirty, I suddenly almost care twice as much what happens to them. I don't know. I'm working through it.
Because I need to see you suffer.
No. I'm like, wow, I just really hope they're doing well. So, yes. Oh, sorry, Mum.
So I hope they have the day they deserve. Wrapping up our sick cunts and shit cunts. Am I the asshole for telling my childhood bully, who is male to female transgender, that she'll always be the boy who bullied me?
Oh, that's my response.
When I was in middle school, I was viciously bullied by this boy who I'll call Z. He spread rumors about me, called me stupid and useless every chance he got, made school a living hell. It's been 12 years and Z has since come out as male to female transgender. She messaged me over social media and asked to meet up.
First, beautiful.
Interesting the change of pronouns.
I was going to say beautiful, like ilta. Yeah.
Like, honestly, I would immediately start from she anyway, because just because she was presenting differently back then, it didn't make her any less a trans girl back then anyway.
It sounds like this person just doesn't see it that way.
An attempt was made.
Yes,
Fucks are given.
Yes.
We went out for a coffee where she apologized for bullying me. It was along the lines of, I'm sorry for being mean. I was young and I was struggling with my gender identity. I thanked her for her apology. When she asked if she was forgiven, I tried to avoid answering. I'm still not over what she did to me. What Z did impacted me greatly, as I was an impressionable young girl. I struggled with self-esteem for years afterwards. Z started getting defensive. She told me that I was being petty and that I should forgive her. That ain't your call, my dude.
No.
My good bitch. People don't even need to hear your apology, let alone accept it, let alone actively forgive you after it.
Yes. It's you, and then you eventually just don't care anymore.
Like, I'll happily let it go. In the situations where I can let it go, then it's a non-issue anymore. That doesn't mean I owe you anything.
100%. I've got such a bad memory. I'm like the opposite of forgiven but not forgotten. I'll be like, not forgiven.
I can't remember what you fucking did,
but forgotten.
That has happened a couple of times. I remember particularly like in my teen years where someone started talking to me and I just responded, and then someone else is like, oh, I didn't realize that yous were talking after such and such. I'm like, fuck, I forgot I was mad at them for that.
I'm like a computer. If I just start malfunctioning, I'll go to sleep, I'll wake up, I'll be fine again tomorrow. So, all good.
She told me that I was being petty and that I should forgive her. I told her, why? You will always be the boy that bullied me. An apology won't change that. She got really offended when I said the word boy and that I was misgendering her. She called me petty, transphobic, vindictive, and ignorant, then stormed out. Am I the asshole?
I'm hesitant to say what I'm thinking. Yeah, you go first.
Yes, it it is transphobic. But at the same time, I feel like we are coming from a very privileged position here in Australia where cunt is universal. It doesn't matter your gender, your sexuality, your race, religion. Fuck, you don't even have to be human. You could be an inanimate object. Everyone can be a cunt. And so there's no reason to be like, you'll always be the boy that bullied me, because it would just be, you'll always be the cunt that bullied me.
Oh, so you're saying replace? Yeah. Maybe we're so far past gender that everyone is just cunts.
Yeah.
I'm following
It doesn't even matter if you're a good person or a bad person, because we got sick cunt and shit cunt. There's cunts for everybody. Cunts cover literally anybody and everybody, no matter who you are, where you come from, what you're about. And so it's where you have cunt as an option, then what's happened here is a transphobic act. And the fact that you are willing to target someone who has legitimately done you wrong with a demographic-based insult that by definition is rooted in bigotry, that is something that you do need to reconsider. And in general, just find more intelligent insults, because if you are wanting to insult someone, then going after a demographic is lazy.
I think that was an insult or just ignorance.
They're saying that she'll always be the boy who bullied her. That was inherently trying to cut her down as far and as hard as she could. Used
too trusting. Too trusting.
It used her trans status to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you think it was intentional? That wording was very intentional.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, then, of course, shit cunt.
Yeah.
Also, whether it was intentional or not, like, it really doesn't take a lot to just change a word to another word.
Yeah.
Like, if it means the world to somebody, and
I'm absolutely not negating or downplaying the impact that Z has had on her. All of that hurt was absolutely real, that Z should absolutely be held to account for.
Yes.
But if anything, she's minimizing that herself by then essentially, it's literally just kind of a jab back, like I'm getting mine in, as opposed to actually trying to heal what had happened in the first place. And it's like, fair call. You don't have to acknowledge Z. It's actually quite big of you to be willing to hear their apology in the first place. I know that if honestly, there are plenty of people who could reach out to me wanting to apologize for bullying me in high school, and they're going to get one of three responses. It's either, I forgot about that and don't care anymore. I'm just going to block them straight away because I have zero interest in hearing from them again, which is what she should have done in the first place. I can't remember what the third one was going to be.
That's all right. There's two very reasonable responses.
But like, either I don't care or I do. And if I do, I'm not going to be interested in hearing from you again.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be interested, because all that's going to be doing, I'm like, this looks like a headache that I'm not interested in adding to my plate. I'm busy. Like,
it goes back to that whole idea of like forgiveness it's more about alleviating the guilt of the person asking for the forgiveness or giving the apology. What they're basically, in not all cases, but I feel like what they're basically doing is saying, hey, I really, really hurt you. I feel really fucking bad from it. Please tell me it was okay.
Yeah,
like,
no. Whereas it's even if I heard it, I'd be like, I hear. I'd be very confused if someone then asked me, do you forgive me? I'd be like, how is that any of your business? Whatever journey you're on to fixing this, whether or not I actively forgive you is not relevant to that, my guy.
So you're like, I don't feel like I am obliged to give you the closure that you're looking for with this chapter of your...
And if you're genuinely committed to doing better in the future, then it shouldn't be relevant to you either.
Do you believe that people change within time, or do you believe at the core they're always the
depends.
same? Yeah.
Because like, I know for a fact that when I got out of my first marriage at 26, because of the sheer lack of emotional development I'd had access to over the last 10 years prior to that, I was the same 15-year-old I was going in.
Yeah.
And then everything that I had to do to kind of build my life from scratch again coming out of it, I aged a decade in like a month, just because of the sheer amount of life experiences that I was forced into by necessity to learn the things that I had to be an adult that I physically hadn't had access to for like while I was in that relationship, because you're just so cut off from being able to,
develop in any sort of way.
Yeah. That makes you more informed, and that makes you dangerous to the systems and structures that are set for you. With opportunity and motivation, absolutely. In the end, if you were a pretty indecent person that did some horrendous shit, then you can't take back those things. And even if you do change, they owe you nothing when it comes to that journey.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And sure, if you ever come across them and they're willing to have that conversation, it's all just got to be gravy. It can't be, you cannot be codependent on the acceptance or the forgiveness of the people that you've done harm as a means of you growing into a better person. It can't be reliant on that.
I mean, life is not tied up with bows.
No.
So, yes.